Okay.
Okay, it's 2 in the afternoon.
Well, yeah.
But it was a heavy weekend.
There you go. So, we kind of came up with some list of categories of characters that we think are going to die, characters that we are going to live, and characters that might live, and then characters that might not live, because it's a possibility that this could change the MCU from anything really. If there's a fan favorite that could die, for example, I'd say I said Doctor Strange would have died, that will change the MCU for good. So, Anthony has a list of characters that he thinks that are gonna die, and he's gonna tell me, and I'm gonna give it on a probability scale from 1 to 5. 5 being 100%, and then 1 being 0%. So, Anthony, what characters did you think were gonna die?
Well, the thing where we got to weigh it up is it's the importance of the character basis that they're based on. So, we definitely know who's not gonna die. When we look at your list here, we damn well know it's gonna be Professor X because he's already died twice already. So, plus he's one of the oldest characters, so continuing a major role like that, he might not be able to do it for long in himself. Not limiting down to the fact that it's because he's older than that a lot, and Patrick's an absolutely amazing actor, and I think he'll be doing it right to the end. But this is a big future project, Marvel, so I'm gonna go with Professor X on that one. Over to you, Luke.
So, if I would have to give that on a probability scale from 1 to 5, I'm definitely going to give it a 4. Only because there's a slight chance that he doesn't die. But considering that, like you said, he's already died like twice, it makes sense for him to die again. And I don't know, maybe he tortures him, Doctor Doom, you know what I mean? I feel like he might die just because of that. I feel like that's actually a really good, valid person to die.
See, I like the way that you said you could see Doom torturing him, being the fact that the Professor X's ability is the mind. That's his main ability, and we know that Doom, he's pretty much gonna be a bit of everything scary. So the character base and what I'm seeing up to now when it comes to Robert Downey Jr.'s part in that is for him to obviously want to torture and manipulate those who stand in his way.
I think when you look at Professor X's physical, there's not a lot, but when you talk about him mentally, it's a character that is very strong with the mind, like you said, because he is. And I feel like Doctor Doom will see that as a challenge, and he will do something just because he doesn't want anyone stopping in his way.
Yeah, and I know when we're going back like the X-Men ages ago, that time when they killed him off and that a lot, it was like, wow, you didn't see that one coming, didn't you?
What, when they killed him off fully?
Yeah, when he got lifted up in the air and ripped to pieces pretty much.
I don't think it's not like I didn't see it coming, because he was still quite old then, and we're talking like what, 20 years ago.
Well, you weren't born, so you definitely didn't see it coming.
No, but I remember watching it for the first time. So that was like what, 30 years ago then. From that point onwards, because I was like 10, 11 when I watched it the first time.
Yeah, I can see it now with your Power Ranger freaking pajamas on and your teddy bear and your Barbie doll and that lot, you kissy with them.
Sure. I'm too tired for this. Did you have another character that you think is going to have a full-on determined answer of death?
Right, well, then we're going to look at it. I know that you I've already said one, but I won't break that. We know that these characters have got to be pretty much time-locked, and that's Peggy Carter's got to be time-locked because she's lived a life. Or we're going down the whole Doctor Who, then the timey-wimey, wiggly kind of stuff. Yeah. And that same goes for Captain America.
Yeah,
they say that we could see the Winter Soldier being one who could perish in it.
Really? You think the Winter Soldier could die?
Well, he's only really got a hand, Annie, which is his main defense thing. You know what I mean? What's the other one good for? Well, don't answer that.
Wow. No, I feel like it would be really emotional for him to die. I mean, fair enough. I mean, he's had a run. He's had a good run. I could see him being like a sacrificing hero. I can see that. So I'm not too upset with that. But it will be. I hope it's like a shocking death. If that is to happen, I want it not. I want it to be like one where you just don't see it come in. So it depends on how they do the fight scenes and the dialogue and everything. Maybe, but I can see it happening.
Yeah, so basically, watch that bus, what a bush bang.
Yeah, basically, more or less. Like he's fighting back, and then you think he's got it, and then dead. I could see that from happening.
Okay, so you give us your terminology and what's going through your head. We might be here a bit, guys. So, right now, if you just like to take a bit of time, go and get a bathroom break, make a brew and that lot, and then we'll be here to bore you for the next few days.
Yeah, I guess so.
Over to you, Luke.
So, characters that I think are gonna die. So, funnily enough, we actually have the same characters in it. I have more characters, but the characters that I think are gonna die are the same as Winter Soldier and Professor X, because we were talking about it, and I generally think Professor X will die. But that could literally it couldn't happen. It might happen. It might not.
So basically, what you're saying, you just copied my answers.
Yeah, definitely, 100% did that.
I can live with that.
Weren't even in the same room when we wrote this. Winter Soldier again. I also thought of this one, and I'm really interested to hear your opinion on this. What do you think if Loki was a character that was gonna die?
Well, Loki's kind of not like dead at the moment, is he? I don't know if you've watched all of the Loki and that.
I've watched it.
Yeah, so he's not officially dead right now, so he's not really died yet properly, because they're always bringing variants of him. So, even if they kill that version of Loki, you can see another variant coming along somewhere, especially the way that they're messing about with this whole, multi-universe thing and that lot now. They've like built their own form of regenerating characters within the franchise, like Doctor Who does.
I also think I have another character that's gonna die, and I don't know if I remember you were telling me about this, and you don't think this character will die, but I think Doctor Doom will die, or he will be exiled or something. He's not gonna have a good ending in the end of the film. 100% can't have a good ending. There is no way he is making it out.
I don't think you're going to be able to kill Doom, because Doom didn't die, he got locked away. You know what I mean?
Well, he might be able to get locked away again. If you remember, have you ever watched What If?
I've not watched that one.
Okay, there was an episode. There was an episode called What If. What was it now? Well, I think it was just called Doctor Strange Supreme. And it was a version of two timelines, and one of them was where, what's her name now? Jane, is it? I think it's Jane. Christine, actually, her name's Christine, and Christine was Doctor Strange's love interest. And one time was a timeline where they'd survive, and he was in a car crash, and his hands can't work for the surgery, or they're in the same car, and only he survives. So the timeline goes that she dies, he does the same thing, defeats everything, and then about a year later reminisces of the time that she dies, and then he goes back in time with the time stone to get everything. Still can't do it no matter how many times he does, so he goes further back in time to get more power to save her. Finally saves her, but ends up destroying his own universe in the process, and he gets locked away by the Watcher. So it could be give me a second, I talk so much. It could be a thing where that happens again.
Yeah.
Where he kills everybody in a sense, or everybody leaves him to suffer alone, or he's gonna die by something else, like something psychological in a way, kind of like Professor X in a way. I'm not sure though. It's either exile or death. There is no way he's getting a happy ending in this.
But his happy ending is to conquer, isn't it? So, and that just end the movie. So that's not going to happen. It's just a matter of how close he's going to get to that borderline until they find a way to stop him.
I'll take a part 2 of Doomsday. 100% take a part 2 of Doomsday.
When there's got you got the Avengers, yeah, where Doctor Doom's coming into it. Mm-hmm. Then next year it's Doom. So in a way, they're already probably filming it and probably doing the jobs we might be doing in the next 10 years of putting it all together.
I promise you now that if they're making a Doom film or a Doom series, right, it's gonna have to be before Doomsday. There is no way that it's gonna be him after the events of Doomsday. It just can't be. There is no way.
I don't know. Marvel can mix things up before. Do you know what I mean? That's a progressive timeline, then, doesn't it? That you have to basically put together yourself. So I can definitely say that from my research I've done, I have found that there is going to be Doomsday, the movie, which is obviously the one coming out in 2027, and this year it's going to be the Avengers. Yeah, with Doctor Doom in it. You've seen the trailers. They look pretty cool, don't they? Spider-Man's got his little heart broken there because he hasn't got his buddy there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you said that you think that Spider-Man will be a character that might die, and I just hope that you are not. I hope you're not being serious about that.
The only reason I actually would put it down is that
you did put it down. You just didn't read it out.
Two reasons really. One of them is it's a young actor. He's played this role a long time now, and in acting, you don't want to get typecast. So you don't know if that's running in the background or not. I think it really does depend on his workload and stuff. The other thing is that Spider-Man isn't owned by Marvel. It's owned by Sony. And Sony need to be paid for the use rights of that character. So if anything where Marvel and Sony fall out over this, and it's happened before where they struggle with negotiations because Sony want like a 50% cut of everything, then it could be the end of Spider-Man for not reasons, on the character or anything like that. It's just like business, isn't it?
Well, I mean, the Spider-Man Homecoming first came out in 2017. And I mean, that was the first time we properly saw Spider-Man. I mean, the only other time that we saw him was in Civil War. And I mean, I don't really remember the date of Civil War. Do you remember the date of Civil War?
I'm thinking more like 2016 because I think it was a bit before, wasn't it? The Spider-Man came out after the Avengers.
If I remember correctly,
it will be the Civil War, definitely, because that's when they're recruiting the armies to fight each other.
It will, yeah. I believe it was 2016, so that's nearly 10 years ago that Civil War came out, which is just crazy to think. So it's technically been 10 years since Spider-Man has been there this year. Mm-hmm. So you are more than right to think that he could die off or be killed off, and especially with the Sony rights and everything. It's just that Marvel knows Spider-Man is a beloved character, and that's shown out through Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and now Tom Holland, especially all of them characters, and they have that look of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that they, if he stays alive, but I can also see your point of what if he dies. So I believe that it could happen. I don't want it to happen, don't get me wrong, but I believe that it will happen.
Yeah, well, just take a box of Kleenex tissues with you when you go to the theatre, just in case it does happen.
That's Tom Holland. You know what? I'd have more sadness if it was either Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield, because those were the ones that I grew up watching. But I don't know. Tom Holland, in a way, it did bring a tear to my eye though, when he was crying in Avengers: Infinity War, basically holding Tony Stark, saying, "I don't want to go. I don't want to go." That made me bawl my eyes out.
You're just a big softy, really, aren't you, pal?
Really, if you're telling me that if you had a favorite character like Spider-Man that you loved, and he was crying in somebody's arms that he looks up to because he thinks he's gonna die, and then he does get snapped away by loads of other characters.
I just hold myself together, mate. I've got my street cred to remember, yeah? You know?
Yeah. So, who are the characters that you think are going to live? I'm very interested in this.
Well, to be quite honest, you put your list through there, and for all three of Doom, Doctor Strange, and Mystique. Mystique's just like come back in, really, hasn't she? So that's a newbie. Doctor Strange. I think he likes that role too much, you know what I mean? So he's not going to step out of that unless he has to. Now, Robert Downey Jr. is Doom, definitely. He's going to stay. You know, you don't just give up a big character like Iron Man to go and play the bad guy unless you've got some future plans on where you want to take that. So that's my take. What about you, pal?
So, yeah, I can see them. I can see all of them. Doom, it depends. It really does depend on Doom. I still feel like it's going to be one of them things where they did like a Black Widow type of thing, where it shows her before, after all the events. I still don't think that that's a good... I still don't think that movie deserves the hate it does. It's just that if it was between Civil War or even before, I feel like that would have been a great movie. They just filmed it so late to the point of where there was no point. Like, I'm still waiting on the Hawkeye movie, if I'm being honest, and that's never going to happen now. After recent events of him.
An accident, didn't he?
Yeah, I think it's for life as well. I don't think there's any way he can actually come back from that. Same thing with so yeah, I think Doctor Strange, he can still survive. It could be one of the things where it's like a Thanos type of thing where he gives the time stone to Thanos, so Tony Stark can stay alive. It could be like one of them. Mystique, yeah, I can see it. Like, it should be one of them like background characters, kind of like Wong in a way. Like, he's there, he's just not a big thing.
Yeah, that's the way it is. So, some of Marvel characters seem to get more of the camera time than the others. You know, it's like there's plans for them, but they're just not being put into place right now.
Yeah, I have some characters that I think are gonna live as well, and I don't know if you think. I think there's gonna be two characters that you might think that are not gonna live, or just might not have a chance. So, Peggy Carter, Spider-Man, and X-23. It's rumored that X-23 will be in there, and I just think that she is going to live. Because they're not going to kill off X-23 yet. There's no, you know, she's only just come back into it, thanks to Deadpool 3. And Spider-Man, I feel like if he dies, it's going to be a Han Solo death. No one was expecting Han Solo to die. Killed by his own son. No one thought Kylo Ren was going to kill his own father. It's basically the events of New Hope, if we're thinking about this again. Just the events of... Is it New Hope? No, what's episode 5?
No hope for you, mate.
The New Hope is gone. Yeah, I just think it's going to be a Han Solo death. Force Awakens, 100%. I can't believe it. I literally jumped out my own skin when I found out. Well, when I saw it in the cinemas for the first time ever. I was like, what, 10? Just was not expecting it.
Well, it's one of them. We are just going to have to wait and see what happens, aren't we?
Are you actually looking forward to this film? Be honest with me. Are you looking forward to this film?
Look, I haven't really brought anything decent out for a while, to be quite honest. I've not really been, watching a lot of Marvel like I was a few years ago. So this one I'm looking forward to actually seeing, because we're bringing some familiar faces into the mix, you know what I mean? I was seeing a Scarlet Witch, I was seeing Loki, you got Thor in there rocking, got Captain America, he's gonna be back, you know what I mean?
Don't get me wrong. Marvel has had tongue twister. Marvel has had some good pulls. I mean, maybe not in the film side. I mean, they had Shang-Chi. I loved that film personally. I'm not sure about everyone else, but I really loved that film. We also had what was the other film that I watched that I really liked? The Ant-Man and Quantumania. I really like that one.
Yeah, that one my favourite one.
And then we had another film. I can't remember what that one was about, but that was good. Not the Black Widow one, the other one. And then we've had some good TV shows. I mean, we've got Marvel What If. That's really good. We've also had Marvel Zombies, like a full dedication to season 1, episode 7 Zombies. I'm not sure if it takes place in the same universe, but I really hope it does. And we've had the other one with... Oh, we had Thor Love and Thunder. That was the film. I loved that film. That was really good. Have you seen the trailer for Thor? When Thor returns into Doomsday?
I've heard quite a few rumours that a lot of these characters are going to be getting power-ups. I don't know what you've heard on that.
If they're getting power-ups, it's going to have to be through the Watcher or some sort of form of Watcher. I'm not sure. But if all these characters are getting taken from different universes and being put into the Doctor Doom's universe, then it's either Doctor Doom travels to the universe that we're watching to get one character and then all the other characters follow him through, or the Watcher goes through the universe that we're watching and says, look, you're one of the best universes ever. I need you to help me take down this guy.
Yeah.
Take him down. I feel like that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna wait until the movie comes out on this one now, because I think I speculated quite a bit on that a lot. I don't want to kill it, you know what I mean? So I reckon it's due, is it due out in the next month or so? It's coming soon because they're doing the trailers, aren't they?
The date for Doomsday is... let me Google it.
Yeah, Google is the access to the world.
When
he's gonna read it all out
is
here.
the release date of Marvel Doomsday?
You do know you're making us look like a right Mickey Mouse operation right now.
100%. But I'd rather have accuracy than just guess. So we were talking. So now that I've got the information up, it's set to be released in December of this year, actually.
Yeah, sounds about right.
That's in April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So in basically 10 months and 9 days, it will be available to watch, which
cool.
Interesting.
Know what to get you for Christmas? Get you a Doom blow up doll and a ticket for the theatre.
I'll take the ticket, maybe not the Doom one. But apparently this film is part of Phase 6 of Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it will feature a cast including Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. We already knew that, but thanks for the heads up, Maggie.
Yeah, I think he always wanted to play that bad guy from the start.
I think he did.
Like, come on, it's like and the way they've done it, the way that they're panning the actual storyline out is clever as well. You know, yeah, you can take your hat off to the actors and the jobs that they did. All these people behind the scenes, they do a remarkable job, and we don't get to see them, which is unfortunate, you know. So, well, we know ourselves doing media, and we're like on the baby steps right now. and it can be time consuming, lots of work to do and stuff like that. You know, you put it on the bigger scales, bigger teams and stuff like that, and you work into deadlines, you know.
Well, I remember that it was going to be released in May of this year, and then they've knocked it back to November, and now they've knocked it back to December. It's turning into GTA 6.
What's that? I've never heard of it.
You have. I've told you about this before.
Yeah, it doesn't exist.
You're not that old.
Yeah.
You're not that old. Do not do that to me.
Hey, I remember Grand Theft Auto when it was like in a 16-bit, see what I mean? And we only got the overhead shot of the cars. It's actually a pretty cool game. You ever played the first one ever?
No, I've never. I don't think I've ever actually played GTA 6. I just remember the memes of GTA 6.
Oh, you're missing out there. GTA 6 was really cool, mate.
It's not even out yet.
No, but it's cool already. It's the most talked about topic going.
Oh yeah, because it's just ridiculous that they keep pushing it back over and over again.
And who's going to be able to afford to be able to buy it anyway? Because it's all for the PlayStation 6. And I think the PlayStation 6 could be one of the most expensive PlayStations that they've ever brought out. Not exactly affordable for a single parent with one income coming in with 5 kids, is it? You know.
Well, yeah, but then again, they shouldn't really be buying that game if it's for one kid out of the 5.
Well, keeps them busy fighting over the case, innit? You can get yourself another bottle of fucking eggnog or whatever in it and just chill.
Yeah, and think about your life choices. Alright then, well, that's fun.
Thanks for listening to the podcast. Please hit the like button and subscribe support your Blackpool lads. Till next time.
Tired, it's
No, I'm
sleepy
not.
time for you,
It's
you know.
not. Don't start. Don't you dare.